What's going on, guys? James from the Research Revolution. Check this out. This is really interesting. Alright. Evil black goo used in Mecca and the Vatican black magic. Alarming videos. Check this out. So what they're going on about is this, what seems to be like a conscious living organism, this black goo. This is not sci-fi, and this substance is absolutely a demonic living organism. This substance absolutely is a weapon. Black goo, the demonic substance that is used in some of the most strangest places, starting with Mecca and even with Vatican. Black goo is an ambiotic mineral oil from the upper crust containing high amounts of M-state gold and iridium. It has been found on Thule Island, on the South Falkland Islands, and under the Gulf of Mexico. Furthermore, there exists a black oil schist containing this type of oil from earlier tectonic events. These events apparently broke up the crust of the earth. Black goo shows up through unknown type of magnetism, much longer in range than ferromagnetism, that seems to be interactive in a spontaneous way. That is very likely that very likely is based on bidirectional annihilated photon exchange, as known from M-state matter in life forms. Due to this magnetism, black goo shows the ability to mechanically self-organize in many different ways and has been reported to carry highly intelligent consciousness. Now, black goo, world's most mysterious substance, is a living, intelligent, demonic liquid crystal known since antiquity. The world's most mysterious substance, a bizarre demonic black goo that is a living, intelligent substance. Here's the mind blower. The Bush family so happens to own property right next to this alien, demonic, intelligent black goo substance. Even stranger, so does Merkel, right next to the Bush family. We're going to go and we're going to listen to this one right here.
To get a broader picture into a 4D reality, include scalar fields, include higher realms, include multi-layered structures in space-time. Then you can grab all the fringe experience we have, like telepathy, like whatever, you know. So there is a physics designed to grab the whole picture, and it is highly scientific, and there's nothing mythological about it, but it gives you the tool to understand what people looked at in the mythological realms. You know, they had experience, whatever, religious experience, facing demons, whatever. To understand what this is all about, you can go into the science, and from the science
So science explained the demons.
Yes, this is one part of the work I've been involved.
Wow, that's interesting. And you also work a little bit, you touch medicine as well, biology and medicine, because
from medicine.
right, because you research autism, right?
The newest one.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's wonderful. So I hope we get to talk about everything. But the first subject I want to touch is black goo. And first time I heard of black goo was from you, and I remember last time we had no time to get into everything. So I watched some of your shows that are available out there. So I heard about the black goo, and I know that a lot of people have no idea, never heard a term, never heard of such thing. What is black goo? What is it?
The easiest way to grab it is like understanding how life is created on a planet. This is, the research is coming from the lab. We did all this in the lab just by moving water enriched with carbon dioxide, seeing what happens inside the water. This is kind of transmutation research. And once you have the results in the lab, it is possible to understand what happens inside the Earth. So now we go all the way how life is created. You have subduction from the oceans, where water sediments, water-rich sediments, go into the lower areas of the planet, and this water rises up again. It's lighter than stone, so it's pressed up, and it's enriched with carbon dioxide from all the biological things that are subducted as well. So we have uprising carbon dioxide enriched water. And this goes through the stone in a under high pressure, high temperature, and with a lot of vortical motions. And you can imagine like the stone is opening, closing, for all these veins of water rising up. So you have like Venturi valves. So you have compression, and then it releases, which is creating cavitation fields. This is exactly the setup we use in the lab for transmutation. And in the lab, what we can observe in the lab actually is that the water and the carbon dioxide is getting into very high molecular order with the vortical flows with high speed. MHD, it's magnetohydrodynamics, so you have kind of charge separation in the water. And under these conditions, the molecules start to exchange atoms. So what you get is fulvic acid as the first basic brick of life, in a way. And this fulvic acid in this vortical motion is uniting to hydrocarbon chains. Okay. And this is all anorganic in a way. Now, what we discovered in the lab, which is not so easy to understand, that transmutation doesn't run in the table of elements, in the lines, but it runs in the rows. We transmute hydrogen to carbon to silica to gold. This is how it goes from the light elements to the heavy elements. Okay. It's just a scientific finding, It's known since the 20s. Victor Schauberger was the first one to discover these lines of transmutation, to describe them. And by using his patterns and geometries and flow patterns, it's easy to reproduce the findings. So we have to deal with this. There's no way around it. This is how it happens.
So black goo is a matter found on Earth?
Yes. The earliest, we can find remains of all the process that kind of is leading to the creation of black goo. So if you look, for example, at mumio is found on the surface of stone in caves in the mountains. And this is kind of the early stage. It is rich in fulvic acids and has already some carbon chains. So this is kind of halfway to black goo. If you run these transmutation lines to the precious metals, then you create something that has all the physical properties to be able to carry a certain form of magnetism. Okay. And so you create a liquid that has precious monoatomic precious metals embedded in a carbon environment. And this is the basic structure of life.
So it's alive. It's a matter that is alive.
In a way, yes. So the monoatomic elements exchange light. They are photon attractors. Mm-hmm. So and these photon patterns are partly in an annihilated state. This goes into higher dimensional physics. So we have a 4D realm with this black goo inside, and we have everything that is needed to process consciousness. Yeah. This bidirectional light is consciousness. And it comes out of the anorganic realm at that point. So what basically is created by upwhirling water is the physical matter with the ability to carry consciousness. It is still a baby in a way, with a zero experience. Then we have the black smokers in the ocean, where this liquid comes up and goes into the oceans. Geologists say that this is where life is created, in the biosphere. So this goes into solution in the water, and you have all the precious, the monoatomic gold soluted in seawater. You have the basic carbon pieces to build up life, and this is where life is created. The consciousness carried by the black goo is immortal and holographic. Once it goes into the biosphere, it gets into rhythms, so we separate single beings and we separate generations. And you can see how this dissolves into a time-space pattern. And then it starts to collect the experience of life. The basic physical principle is still the same. We have exchange of light between the monoatomic elements, and it forms DNA around these elements. This is the basic setup in a being. You have precious metal monoatomic gold positioned in an antenna system to deal with the bigger distances. In the black goo you don't need the antenna because everything is very dense. But in biology, you need these DNA
for God's
antennas,
sakes.
or they develop after time. And
I'll leave the link. That was horrible.